Yeah, okay, sure. Ready for any questions.
Here. And at the beginning, I'm going to play a 30-second counting down video. After that, we are going to officially start it. I'm going to first introduce yourself, kind of like do an opening. I would like to ask you to also introduce yourself as well. If you're ready, let's do it. Go,
Cool.
go,
Sounds
go.
good. And this one's in English, right?
Pardon me?
And this one's in English, right?
Yes, this is in English. Thank
Okay.
you.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. I'm going to connecting us over here.
Let me adjust the air conditioning again.
Sure, take your time. Jun, everyone, welcome to today's BabyManta SuperFrens Clubhouse, and we are so glad to have Kelvin. Kelvin is from Impulsive Finance. He's a core builder over here. Let me reveal our banner. Yeah, move our banner and then reveal our backstage over here. And Kelvin is still working at night. Oh my goodness. Okay, and Kelvin, we would like to first invite you to introduce yourself to our audience. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Hey guys, Calvin here from Impossible Finance. We've been building Impossible now for, what is it now? 4 years and 2 months. So it's been quite a journey. I started my crypto journey at Binance, where I was a part of the research team helping build up the listing framework as well as the Binance Launchpad and staking product lines. Had an awesome experience, obviously learning a lot at the front lines of such a big company, of course, and getting to see it grow from the number 9 exchange in the world at that time by trading volume to number 1 was, I would say, an addicting journey. So I think Moonlight's going to talk to us a bit about MBTIs, and I think you'll kind of sense some of it by the way I talk about how I perceive my experiences overall in crypto. That I think to be a part of something bigger where you can impact the lives of millions of users is something that is both a privilege and a burden, and a lot of work to do and a lot of things to worry about, but also a genuine amount of, I would say, enthusiasm to know that the things that you touch have an immense amount of impact on the users of the world. So I think at Impossible, one of the things that I'll choose the word angers me is that I want to be able to do even more, because I think that I'm capable of, and our team is capable of being able to, impact the lives of many. But clearly, Impossible is still just a startup, even 4 years later. I think that's the reality of building stuff. Nothing's ever overnight. And I think that the challenge ahead of us is to think of ways for us to deliver enough impact to make ourselves satisfied with the work that we've done. So yeah, that's a little bit on myself and Impossible.
Got it. Thank you so much, Kelvin, for letting us know about that. How about prior to joining Impulsive Finance, I know that you were also working at Binance research team, right? How was the experience?
Yeah, I have to give a lot of credit to Binance. I have to first say in particular that to be one of the first exchanges that really invested in a larger research team. At peak, my team was 15 people. And I think it is one of the reasons why Binance had a really great pulse on the market at that time to understand what's happening on a day-to-day, to be really early in DeFi as a whole, with our stable coins, with using DeFi farming, with listing, the big players like Uniswap, 1inch, Compound, those old players at the beginning. It was something that we were really proud of being able to make an impact on. I think in the 1inch or Uniswap case, I think we listed the same day that the token existed, because we already had the research prepared to know that these protocols would be big. And I think that something that we prided ourselves at Binance was to be what I call dangerously early. I think a lot of times, a lot of the opportunity comes from being early in this space, and that you need to have the confidence or the research or the preparation that's already been done, kind of like moonlight always your homework before you even bring on guests for any of the AMAs. I think that it's something that shows itself in its final product, right? That you can tell when somebody's already prepared versus when they're just scrambling to try to do something. So the opportunities that we had to be able to be at such a pivotal role at a large exchange like Binance, to be able to say, hey, yeah, we are prepared. We already know how Uniswap works for 4 months before the token goes live. That if the token does go live, we're ready to say we're supporting it. Or it's going to be something that we will list. So I think to have that confidence and to have that research means something, to give an opportunity for users to be early, to invest on the platform. I think it's something that I look back to and I say it's a really proud moment, I think, of all of our teammates' careers.
Wow, respect. Thank you so much, Calvin, for letting us know about it. How about what brought you into Web3 space? Why choose kind of like a different path compared to traditional way, right? Especially Asian American families. Do you guys know what you are doing right now, or did I know about it previously, like several years ago?
Yeah, great question. I learned about crypto when I was in university, which I think is a fairly common kind of storyline. The difficulties, I think, that you mentioned as a ABC, I think the Asian pressure of finding a good traditional job or having stability for a family type of thing, it definitely is not easy to convince your families that have worked so hard to find that stability to let you grow up in that environment, and then you take the risk again for your own career. It's definitely something that they will naturally be scared of. But I think in my own experience, I was lucky enough that even though I'm an only child, my parents couldn't really stop me from joining crypto. I wrote my university thesis on crypto exchanges, so I really knew that I wanted to work in exchange ecosystems. And then after that, when I got the offer to join a Binance, I actually had to take a one-way flight to Japan. And my parents were so scared because I don't speak Japanese. And so they're like, how are you taking a job in a country that you don't even speak the language, right? And I said to them, you came to America not speaking English. So you took this risk, right? And I think that's something that stuck with them as well. If they can't stop me wanting to try to create an opportunity for myself in a new industry, because that is also the same journey that they took to, emigrate from China to go to America as well. So I think a lot of lessons learned in that process, and a lot of beautiful lessons that I got to learn, I think, during now this is year 8 for me in crypto and year 8 for me in Asia. Getting to see all of these different countries across Asia and Southeast Asia, it's been an absolute blessing to see so many interesting builders, so many interesting funds, projects, whatever it might be, in each of the different regions, and to understand a bit more of the culture and the local structures of each of these has been one of the most enjoyable parts of what I've gotten to do across both my time at Binance and at Impossible.
Got it. Wow. Thank you so much. So this is really interesting because out of college and the first official career like you chose was just joining crypto, which is kind of unusual, right? Especially your family, well, just like you said, moved from China to America, and then you kind of moving back from US back to Asia. Definitely a different way around. Actually,
I like to
yeah.
say I joke to my parents that I undid their American dream. So they moved to America and I say cancel, I undo, and I just go back, kind of thing.
And growing up, did your family speak Chinese language at home, or did you actually had to
Yes.
learn it? Okay.
Yeah. So, but I spoke Cantonese at home.
Oh, got it.
And I learned Mandarin in Chinese school, which I think is pretty common for many ABC.
Oh, Chinese school. Oh my goodness. I still help my younger sister to. Well, I help her. I cannot help her. I help her to write, but I support her. Right. I answer her questions every weekend. Oh my goodness, for that on Sunday
This is
afternoon.
Moonlight AI.
Right. This is just oh my Chinese school. Every Asian American child. Oh my goodness, great memories. And also the Chinese church as well. But anyways, let's go back to the topic. This is a really, really interesting interview session with Calvin. Thank you so much, yeah, for letting us know about all the stories behind the scenes. And how about any challenges? Because this is kind of like your second or third cycle in crypto.
I would say maybe it's actually cycle number 4.
Wow.
In
You look very
2017,
young, and this is already cycle number 4.
yeah,
4
I'm
years a
20.
cycle.
Yeah, I'm 27, but I would say that I got lucky in that in university I traded during the cycle of the ICO era of 2017, 2018 era.
Ah,
So I think that it was my first peak and also my first experience losing all my money on bad shit coins. So I
crying.
think a lot of my motivation of wanting to um, join Binance and help filter projects in the listing side of things is about trying to find hopefully safer investments for every user.
Right.
Because I really think that we didn't know what we were investing in the ICO era. So I would say 17, 18 was one kind of, let's call it peak, maybe not complete cycles, but I get to see these unique flows. And then I would point at DeFi summer as another huge wave where a lot of value came into the space, a lot of builders came into the space. Overall, an innovation moment in the sector. And then I would point at GameFi as another separate section in late 2021, early 2022. Remember when metaverses were popular and everything, right? I think this wave was very distinctly different from DeFi because I see the entire gaming and entertainment in the real world. There's two businesses: helping people make money or helping people have fun. These are the two, I think, core human needs that industries are built around, right? And I kind of see the development of how GameFi started to be very separate from the way that DeFi started. I think these two would be two separate kind of peaks of ecosystems that we got to see. And I would point at 2023 as a kind of rebound post FTX, rebound post Terra Luna, all of these things to see a lot more of the newer cycle projects and this whole wave of all these L2s, so on and so forth, as new chains. I don't think we ever saw in the previous cycles so many chains get billions of FDV evaluation. And I think starting from Manta in early 2024, listing on Binance, was one of the key waves of showing that there would be many L2s that would become popular over the last kind of wave. So for me, I see kind of 4 distinct key waves: the 2017 ICO, quote unquote, innovation, the 2020 or late 2019 DeFi innovation. I think the more consumer facing GameFi side of things in 2022. And then in this cycle, the chain thesis kind of play out. So I think those are the 4 kind of different, let's call them dominant strategies that we've seen kind of play out over the last 8 years. Even if there's been maybe greater bull or bear market cycles, if you measure BTC price or ETH price, whatever it might be, I think as a builder, I think about this in terms of what projects and what sectors were viable at any given time and what opportunities can be seized by builders. So maybe I should say 4 builder cycles, and maybe you're right, maybe it's 2 or 3 BTC cycles.
Ah, got it. Thank you so much for the clarifications, Calvin. And how about what made you wanted to stay in crypto? Because especially earlier, like while Bitcoin price kind of like going back to $15,000, a lot of people said Bitcoin is dead, right? What made you still want to stay here? And how do you overcome some stress that your parents might say, hey, aren't those just kind of like speculations? They are not real. They're just air. We are cooking air. How would you like make yourself want to stay for a longer time and continue to build? Thank you.
Um, when I joined Binance, I didn't have a bank account in China, and I think that's the best experience to understand why crypto and borderless payments matters. To not be able to scam with WeChat or Alipay and be like, oh, I still need to use cash. I think I remember in maybe September or October of 2018, I go to Shanghai and I am paying with cash at a supermarket, and a 75-year-old grandma behind me yell at me and say, why are you using cash? And I think that moment is one of the most beautiful moments to understand that technology has advanced, but truly borderless technology has not truly advanced from a traditional finance and traditional tech perspective. Because I, as a US citizen, couldn't use a lot of the key apps that everybody else around me was already using, and even the grandmas of the world were already using. And I think that story is something that still makes me believe that in the long run, crypto will have value. I do have to say that obviously this cycle lately, all of these meme coins and everything that has caught user attention, obviously these things do not have a lot of fundamental value. And that's been one of the saddest things, I think, as a builder, that a lot of builders struggle with, right? Because they see the hard work that they do, and then maybe Binance lists a meme coin, and then you say, why am I building a real project when I could build a meme coin, right? Um, or Moonlight, if you want to build a meme coin, maybe I'll be your seed investor instead, right? Like everybody kind of think about what do they want to do with themselves in this space. And I think it's a difficult reality in that crypto is a attention-based market, as you see with all of the different platforms and media and communities that are truly getting built, right? So I think that this question became harder in this cycle, because I think every person I respect from a technical angle or from a business experience angle, a lot of them have really struggled to say, is it worth still working hard in the things that they do when they can see some random guy make some meme coin and make way more money than they can ever imagine? And I think this is something that the space needs to mature in order to create better environment. Because I think if our space is truly only defined by the meme coins of the space, I don't think this is a space that a lot of people are truly proud of. And I think that if I look back to the things that we did at each stage of DeFi or even GameFi, to know that when we, for example, listed Axie Infinity at Binance, right? To know that 1 million plus Filipino users now have a way to be able to play Axie as a form of work, even if GameFi didn't fully, let's call it, be the most sustainable thing, I think that is something where truly you touch the lives of millions of people. My challenge or my hope for the space is, let's go measure this space by how many times you can touch the lives of 1 million people. Nothing else matters. And my answer is, I don't believe that meme coins can sustainably touch the lives of millions of people for the better, at scale. If we're a legitimate industry, like let's say fintech, right? Fintech apps in the world frequently get 1 million users and make those users' lives better. Can we as an industry find an opportunity to say that we are able to go and touch the lives of 1 million users for the better, right? Sustainably, repeatedly, right? Each time that you hear about, let's say, a mobile money app, right? Or a mobile investment app, buy now, pay later, whatever in traditional world, every time there's a new one in a new country, right? It can touch 1 million users and change lives. It's like a blueprint that gets copy pasted in each market with different people that understand the market better, the local market better. For us, can we get to the point where crypto is able to scale to be that style of growth? Because right now, if you copy paste a meme coin, I don't think meme coins are copy pastable, nor are they something that will be able to sustainably change the lives of many, many users every time a meme coin is created.
Got it. Yes, Calvin, this is definitely the problem, right? Right now, it's kind of like in this cycle, there are not many other strong project could survive this very brutal cycle. So, and people kind of, a lot of users kind of like lose their belief in VC invested tokens or projects, so they would rather just go to meme coins. But that also create another issue, and it seems that right now the meme coin bubble also burst. So well, super difficult, I would have to say, in this cycle. It's and however, also I also agree with what you say, right? A lot of people that because of meme coins they made the money that there's no way that they could earn it the other way around, right? So yeah, just kind of like very interesting. We are going to see how it goes in the next cycle as well. And well, let's also talk about your MBTI because this is kind of like a standard questions for all of our guest speakers at the BabyManta SuperFrens Clubhouse. We wanted to know each of our friends. So, Kevin, can you tell us what is your MBTI, and do you think it is accurate that it could define you, or do you think it actually might change over time? Thank you.
Yeah, I've been pretty strongly ENTP every time I take the test. The joke is that ENTP is for entrepreneur. So I think it fits. I would say maybe to go like letter by letter. I do think that I'm an extrovert, but I have to say that because I moved to Japan when I joined Binance and I didn't speak Japanese, I think I'm a lot more introverted than when I was in university. I think in university, I talk to everybody, try to be nice to everything, like just always going out like social to meet everybody in the university. And then to go to Japan and every day I'm ordering McDonald's via the machine because I don't know how to talk to place an order is very different, I think, in terms of personality style. So I think I got to learn and observe a lot when I have traveled throughout Asia. I think it gave me a lot of perspective because I think as an American, you're often the loudest or the most talkative person in the room. And I think in Asia, it's very valuable to listen and observe and understand what is happening around you. So I think to balance this more, I would say maybe growing up, I'm like 90% E. I think hopefully now learning a lot of the way that things work in Asia, I would like to think I'm like 70% E, and I'd be very proud to balance myself in terms of the E versus I. To be honest, I never remember what N and T stand for, so I'll talk a bit about P. I do think I'm a super perceiving person, not a judging person. So I think the N and the E might have more chances of changing, but the P is the other one that I identify with a lot. I think a lot of things you have to trust your kind of gut feel in things in the moment. I think even Moonlight, the first time we did a AMA, I think it was maybe with Moonveil, one of the projects that we helped support. So last year, I think the experience that I had with just that one first AMA alongside I think MJ, the founder of Moonveil, that experience was like, I literally just messaged my team. I said, let's do more AMAs with Moonlight. I think she's really great as a host and she prepared really well for this, right? It's not like, I don't think entrepreneurship or building stuff comes with a pure, just do a playbook and everything will work. I think sometimes you just have to trust your gut with experiences that you have in the moment, and you say, hey, that is something that I want to do more of. It's always kind of like, do I just want more of something or less of something? And I remember that AMA, and I said, we should make sure that our next project also do a AMA with Moonlight. Was like my first message I sent in the chat. And I think that's definitely something that is a P type of decision-making versus a J type of decision-making, that when you try to think about things from a very kind of formulaic process, it's obviously valuable to be structured and to be prepared in that sense. But for me, I think I know I'm very much like this. If I really have that type of experience, I can remember, now it's almost been 1 year since that AMA. If I remember that one AMA, that means that that was a meaningful AMA. And that's something that I want to do more of. I'm going to make that decision based off what I perceived as important from last year.
Wow, thank you so much, Calvin. I never know that. They never told me about it. Yeah, but just like you said, every other AMA session after the first one, yes, the Monville team did ask me to do it. Wow. So it was you because you gave Len the suggestion. Thank you so much. And another coincidence is that actually MJ's interview is going to be tomorrow. He also scheduled, with BabyManta SuperFrens Clubhouse interview, and he scheduled just right after you. So it's a great coincidence. I'm going to mention this to him tomorrow as well. That is
you need to give him more credit. I don't deserve the credit. I think he's been working very hard over this cycle as well.
Yeah, and I believe they are also planning to do their TGE pretty soon. Hey, maybe MJ's watching right now because they also wanted to know how the interview flow goes, and so they might watching this same session right now. It's just interesting.
Nice. Hey, MJ.
Thank you so much, Calvin, for mentioning Liz. And well, it's about 30 minutes through our interview. I just want to ask a very last question. Do you think you are going to stay in crypto for a longer time, or are you going to switch to other industry? For example, like this cycle, so many people move to AI.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a very valid question, to be honest. And I think 4 years ago when I left Binance, I would actually say I had the wrong attitude. I genuinely thought that everyone that left crypto was just stupid. And I understand now that that's the wrong angle, and everyone needs to find their own path of what motivates them or what they love. I would say I really love crypto. And so obviously my answer to this has my bias, but over time as a leader, as a founder, you start to understand that everybody has different goals in life, and you need to build a team and build a system around what everybody wants. If you just assume that everybody loves everything the same way that you do, you're never going to build a good company. And I think that's the hardest realization as a founder, that you need to make things work with people that have different priorities in life, right? Maybe family, maybe their background of what they've studied, what they've worked on before. Everybody has their strengths and their weaknesses, their priorities, and their things that they hate, right? And I think balancing all of those is tough. For myself, I've asked this question a lot more recently, to be honest, because of how tough the builder environment has been. The reality is that there's been a lot less investment across this whole space. As you mentioned, a lot of attention going to new players. And I think that, bluntly speaking, crypto is no longer easy mode. The difficulty of crypto as a overall space has increased to be, let's call it medium to hard. With more institutional players, with more people with experience, is no longer something where you just say, I want to do that tomorrow, and then it will be done, and then you can raise money and so on and so forth. It is not that simple. And I think that the teams that choose to stay, I think they will actually get a chance to prove whether or not they deserve to stay. And the teams that end up truly being able to deliver multi-cycle value for communities, for users, for larger audiences, they are the ones that will win long-term. But the reality is that how many people still have the energy and the passion for crypto to want to continue to work this hard? To be honest, I see a lot of my friends give up. And it's one of the saddest things to kind of watch one by one, as you see more and more people. I'll say a Chinese phrase to explain it, and I'll translate a bit to the English audience: 躺平. Just lay flat.
Yes.
I think this phrase has become too commonly heard across a lot of our Asia network. And I think it's something that I'm actually really sad to see, because there are people that I think are more smart than me, more hardworking, more talented, whatever you want to measure. There are people that are better than me in many, many different aspects that have given up. And I think that is actually one of the moments that starts to make you question, what do you want to do, right? Is you think that, hey, why is this guy that's smarter than me giving up? Does he know something that I don't know? Is he actually early to a new trend, or he's just not confident enough in crypto, whatever it might be, right? for myself, I think my answer is actually quite simple. Impossible has 40 some teammates. My job is not to give up on any of them. So I don't think I have the luxury to actually say, if I just want to quit crypto today, I can, but I would abandon my team. And I think my team has already worked hard enough to try to deliver value to all the people that they're working alongside, including myself. So I owe it to them that if their job right now is something that's in crypto, then it's my responsibility to take care of them. So in terms of how to build in crypto moving forward and things to do, my answer is that I'll quit crypto when I have 0 employees. But if I still have any one person that still believes in the things that we do, I'm going to still build. I think that's my promise to my own team and my promise to all the people that I respect in terms of their capabilities within the space. And I think that once you have the feeling of knowing that people's families depend on you as a company, I think your mindset changes. It's exactly why I feel like I'd never understand my parents in how maybe conservative they were when they tried to create this American dream and moving to America and giving me a chance to grow up in a steady environment. But then now, as I look at, like, when I think about Impossible as a startup, my mindset is that if I don't build enough of the structure to protect my teammates cannot be fully focused on the work that they do. And let alone if I, as a co-founder, end up or core builder, don't end up believing in the thing that I do, then I shouldn't be hiring all these people. These people shouldn't trust me to create a job for them, right? So I think this is the tough part about being a builder, and I think it's the honest part that I want to be transparent with the audience as well, that, like, if you don't feel confident enough to put your teammates' family stability at stake, you should get out of any space that you're building. This is not true to just crypto. This is true for AI. This is true for whatever. You need to believe in the ecosystem that you're trying to build and believe that these teammates actually also have that same belief. Otherwise, I think it's just a normal job. And I think if it's just a normal job, you can do that in any sector or any industry.
Oh my goodness, Calvin, respect. Okay, and also I think you are doing very low key because you always say like you're a core builder, but actually you are a funder, right, of Impossible Finance, and taking very good care of your team. This is just amazing. I hope your team can watch this interview because they have a very good leader over there. Oh my goodness, that is just amazing. And I strongly believe that you are going to definitely make it right through the cycle, even though the cycle, just like you say, it's not very fair to real builders. But I believe people already realize it, and next one we're going to come back differently. So thank you so much, Calvin, for spending time with us. It's already quite late in Asia time zone, so we do hope that you can just leave the office, go home, eat dinner. Oh
No.
my goodness.
More work to do.
Okay. Thank you so much for spending time with us. This is so amazing. I am also going to ask Manta's funders to watch the replay. This is just so good. Yeah, it's very early
Hi to
for them.
Victor and Kenny.
Pardon me?
Say hi to Victor and Kenny
Oh,
as well.
yes. Definitely. I will. Yes. Well, right now, I believe Victor is traveling in Hong Kong to attend the conference. So if you will also be at the Hong Kong blockchain week or that conference, maybe you guys can see each other. And Kenny, it's very early morning for him, but I will definitely share the link to both of them. Thank you so much, Calvin. Thank you for your time. Much
Of course.
appreciated.
Cheers. And don't forget to tune in to tomorrow's session with Moonlight as well.
Yes, and NJ will be here. I'm also going to send a link to him right away.
Sounds good.
Thank you
Awesome.
so
Well,
much.
thank you so much, Moonlight, for the time. Thanks for having me as well.
Thank you. Have a great rest of the day. Bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, friends, this is just amazing. I'm going to play some music to wrap this up. Amazing session.